And, okay. There we go.
Send you the password.
Let's do this.
Hold on.
Just all sorts of... What is that? How come that isn't? Okay, we'll do this. Where the hell's my deal? Okay, let's see.
Should be 4F5 UP. Did you have to put a password in?
No. I just clicked on the link and it launched and the Zoom thing seemed to work. Which is quite shocking because I've tried to do a few Zoom things in the past and they have not worked out well. So I was quite shocked that I knew with you setting it up there would be no problems, but with me setting it up there was going to be all sorts of problems. So I just kind of know that if things are good on...
Oh, right, he's in. Sorry, he's right, he's in. Hold on, let me just bring him in.
Let's see if... And look at that. Holy smokes, there he is.
We've got him.
Hello?
Hello, how are you, sir?
Hi, Matt.
I'm all right. Hi, how you doing? You okay?
Yeah, all good. All good. Sorry, we're just still figuring this thing out.
Yes.
No
We usually use Skype, and so Zoom has been entertaining today. So we're we're just gonna go with it and see what happens, baby.
Yeah, why not? Try new things.
Do you want to kick us off, Jiggy?
Yes, we have got a tremendous guest with us today here on International Live.
Lost you, or have you lost me?
I might have lost you guys. Hold on here. Let me see here. Can you guys hear me now? Is that...
You're coming back slowly. Hold on, we'll give it a minute and we'll see.
I'm coming back slowly. That's never good. That is never good. Motorola One Vision. Your connection is unstable according to me. Your internet connection is unstable according to me. I don't know if it's my connection, if it's your connection, it's somebody's connection. Somebody's internet connection somewhere is unstable. But as long as you guys can hear me, then we're good.
We're recording it at both ends anyway, so we'll still capture it somehow.
We'll get the audio somehow there, baby. So this week on International Live, we have a tremendous guest. But before we get to our guest, you can listen to us on 990 WBOB each and every weekend at 4 Central, 5 Eastern. You can also listen to us at KJAGradio.com, watch live video, everything else. And Danny, how do people listen to us in the United Kingdom, my friend?
They'll be listening to us in the United Kingdom. It will be Friday afternoon. It's just after 5 o'clock, and they're listening via Leicester 107.5 FM. And that's obviously in our drive time hour over here. So, yeah, big shout out to all our listeners, both in Leicester and across the United States. Got a great show lined up for you today. From Leicester, we have got, he's like the city's guitarist, Mr. Matt Bowie. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
How you been keeping?
I've been all right. It's not too bad, actually. A quiet weekend. Well, I say quiet. Actually went and did a YouTube channel show yesterday in Nottingham at the Crown Plaza, which was just opposite Rock City. So that was a new experience for me. But yeah, I ended up winning this competition. It's called Jobsworth. It's essentially 3 judges, 5 contestants, and they have to pick out who the real photographer is, or the real landscape, or whatever the job is that they've been given. They have to pick out the right person, and the contestants, i.e. myself, have to basically just lie about being in that job role, and I managed to convince them that I was a photographer, and so yeah, I won the
Oh
competition.
wow! So that's going to be broadcast on YouTube or something, is it?
It will, yeah. I'm not sure about the details of which YouTube channel that would be, but once I get the details from the main man, then yeah, I'll be sharing it on my social.
Oh yeah, let us know. Let us
Yeah,
know.
we
Now,
definitely will.
can you just let our listeners know? Obviously, you're fairly well known in Leicester now, but just remind our listeners, if you could, a little bit about who you are, your background, what got you into music, and what you're sort of doing in the Leicester music scene at the moment.
Okay, well, I'm Matt Burry. I play in 2 bands within Leicester. One is Gallows High, which is a hard rock metal band. And I also play guitar for Harry Giorgio and the Well-Behaved Young Men, which is reggae fusion. So I've been in Gallows High for about 5 years now. And then I've been working with Harry and the Well-Behaved Young Men for about 2 years. I also do quite a bit of session work for HQ artists. So I work with producers like Manish Kula. I work with Priv, Mihal, who's also a well-behaved young man. And before that, what got me into music was essentially I was in school. Seen my mate was in a band. I asked, "Can I join your band?" And he was like, "No, because you're pretty rubbish at guitar." So I decided to get better, made my own band, and then yeah, I've just been in bands, various bands here and there in different genres, all the way up until now, really. So yeah, that's my story.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. So, how long have you been doing all this? Roughly?
What, guitar?
Yeah,
Or
just playing the
yeah,
guitar,
so-
because I hear all sorts of just amazing things about your guitar work.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Yeah, so I've been playing guitar for about 14 years now. So quite a long time, really. And yeah, it's just I thought, well, what got me into guitar was obviously the rock scene, but I've also now I'm working with HQ. I've branched out into so many different genres, and it's just it. I think my guitar playing has really enhanced within these last 2 years, which is very strange considering I've been playing guitar for 14 years. So yeah, these last 2 years I've really just developed as a musician overall, really, in that sense, just branching out into as many different genres as I possibly can, because I think if you just limit yourself, you'll never grow. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Matt, we've got a huge audience listening in the United States as well. Now, if they need a good guitar player, where can they find you?
Okay, so my socials are at Matt Burry Guitar on Instagram and Facebook. Don't have a website yet. Probably something I'll look forward to in the future. Hopefully build up that session work overseas. That's what I'm planning to do in the year going forward, I think, is to start branching out to other areas around the world and working with different musicians. So yeah, if you want a guitarist or you want to collaborate songwriting, then yeah, come find me.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And you've actually worked with a good couple of the guys we've had on the show here already. Our listeners will remember quite recently we had Manis Caller on the show, and Harry Giorgio, I think, was one of our earliest interviews. I think we had him on probably about third. Is that right, Jimmy?
Yep. He was tremendous. You've got a lot of great folks you're working with.
Oh yeah, I mean HQ is it's an amazing team. I mean Yastin, he's just an amazing guy. He just puts everything together, and he just it's such a great team. There's so many fantastic and talented artists within HQ, and they're also wonderful people to work with as well. We have a great laugh. So yeah.
Now, who's your favourite?
Well, I wouldn't say I don't have a favourite, but the person who I work with closely is obviously Harry, because I live with the guy. I mean, he's in the next room now making some tunes, so he's been doing that all day, locked in his room. It's like a little laboratory of music, so I'll go in time to time, see how he's doing, but you know, I'll leave him to it sometimes. But yeah.
Hopefully he's making up a follow-up to Lockdown in the Summer with a Lockdown in the Winter.
yeah. Well, we were thinking that. We were writing a tune about lockdown again, but we thought, well, maybe we've
Done that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, we've got some other ideas in the works, in the pipelines. Yeah.
Now, who are your sort of musical influences? Who do you listen to?
Whew, that's a big question. So my music taste has expanded over the last few years. But what I would say is the first sort of rock band that kind of got me into everything was Iron Maiden. Went to see them when I with my dad when I was quite young, and that really just started the ball rolling with all the metal bands. But yeah, recently I've just been listening to obviously reggae with Harry. He got me into that. Just a lot more popular stuff really recently. But I always go back to my roots. So I always have that rock element in everything I listen to. Really, if I hear a guitar riff, I'm like, right, okay, let's sit down and listen to this.
Well, we've got this track here you've done with Harry, Realness, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to mute your mic in a moment when I play it. But if you could just tell us how did this track came about? Did you just get a phone call from Harry? Look, I've got an idea for this track. What happened?
So was this Realness or Release Me? You mean?
This is Realness. No, sorry, it's Release Me. Apologies.
Yeah, no, not a problem. Yeah. So Release Me was actually a song by Engelbert Humperdinck, who's a famous Leicester artist. And basically BBC Radio Leicester approached Harry to do a cover version of it. But he had been told a week before he told me. So by the time he told, So by the time he told me and came to me, he was like, "Can you help me out with this cover?" We had literally a week to complete it. And he showed me the song.
Wow.
And I don't know if you've ever heard the original, but
Yes.
I was like, "How the hell do we change this?"
I saw how he posted it on Instagram actually, and I thought the same. I thought, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought, right, let's listen to it. Let's have a look at the lyrics, and then let's just jam some chords out and see if we can just sort of fit those words to the chords. And then I thought, right, guitar riff. You need like an iconic guitar riff, something simple, something easy on the ears. And yeah, I just started playing around, and we finally managed to get this guitar riff in there. And then we structured the whole song based around those chords and those riffs. And then Harry laid his vocals, and then I thought, why not add a little guitar solo at the end just to spice things up a bit. So yeah.
Well, great stuff. What we'll do then is, if we all can mute up, as Jiggy already has, we'll play this. This is Harry Giorgio with Matt Bowie here on guitar with Release Me.
Please release me, let me go, for I don't love you anymore. To waste our lives would be a sin. To waste our lives would be a sin. Release me and let me love again. I found a new love dear, and I always want her near. Her lips are warm while yours are cold. Release me, my darling, let me go. I have found a new love, yeah, and I always want her near. Her lips are warm while yours are cold. Release me, my darling, let me go. hang on to me. Yeah. Life would bring us pain, so release me, let me love again. Release me, and let me love.
There it was, Harry Giorgio and Release Me, and that had our guest on there, Matt Bowie on guitar.
Wow.
What do you think of that, Jiggy?
Hell of a deal. That is a you just amazing guitar work. It was a great song. You put a lot of cool things together. Tell me a little bit about how you guys collaborated and brought this to life.
Yeah, so like I was saying before, so we had a week to essentially do it, and we got in the studio one night and we did pretty much an all-nighter where we just went, right, let's ignore the original, even though it was like a great song, but we can't really focus on the original if we want to create something new. So we took the lyrics, found some essentially chords we can base the lyrics in the style that Harry essentially can do, and then we just thought, right, well, let's do a couple of what we like to call twiddly bits. So that's like guitar riffs and that, just to flavor it up a bit essentially. And then Harry just turned to me and essentially was like, there's something missing from it. I was like, do you want to do a guitar solo? I was like, yeah, I want to do a guitar solo. that would definitely
Awesome.
definitely spice things up. Yeah. So that's essentially how it came about, which is usually how the bangers between me and Harry come out, is essentially staying up all night.
Well,
and,
I really want to
studio until we're
recommend.
satisfied.
Sorry, I really want to recommend that the listeners also go and listen to the original Release Me, just to see the level of effort and work that's gone into transforming this track to make it, a real lively, up-to-date, modern tune. Absolutely love the track. Now,
Thank you.
this next one we've got for you is with a different band called Gallows High. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, because this is a bit different from the sort of reggae fusion stuff you do with Harry.
Yes. So this is more of where my roots came from. So I joined Gallows High April 2015. So obviously it'll be 6 years in April. And essentially I met guitarist Jake Felstead in Duffy's Bar. You know where that is in Leicester. At a rock gig actually, yeah. And we just got talking. He was like, "Oh, I'm in this band, Gallows High." I was like, "Yeah, well, I've been looking for a band ever since I've left uni. So, do you mind if I come for a practice?" And then it used to be in this old studio that the bassist owned, which he unfortunately had to leave the band for personal reasons. So we lost that. But yeah, we just clicked immediately, really. And we had a female vocalist in the band, which I've never really experienced before. And I thought this is a great combination, because not only can we be heavy rock, but we can also have that lighter side and appeal to others, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people who associate metal or rock is, with a male vocalist, it's all screaming and there's no melody and you can't hear the words. So it's nice to be able to create those heavy riffs, but also back it up with a nice melodic sound as well from the vocals. And I think it's a great combination. So,
well, this next one we've got for you, Dead of Night, is this is a single, is it, or is it a part of an album?
So it's a single. So in this current market, especially for up and coming bands or artists, I think it's important just to release singles, because if you release albums without a following, some of those great tracks that you might put on that album might get lost and they might not ever get played. So I feel it's important at this current stage, until you hit that big following, just to release singles. So yeah, this is This is a Game of Thrones inspired song. So if you look at the lyrics, which I'm more than happy to send you across, then you'll see that this is very Game of Thrones inspired, because the singer is quite a big fan of the show. So yeah.
And when you're putting these tracks together, do you are you normally all of you in the same room, and you just drumming something out, and how does it work?
So what would happen is one of us would either come up with a riff, or Emma would come in with that's our vocalist, Emma, would come in with some lyrics that she's written, and like an acoustic version of that, and we would convert that into more of our style. But yeah, usually it stems from a riff, and then we'll bounce back and forth from each other, and eventually structure the song. And then Emma would lay her lyrics over that, and we just keep hashing it out and practicing it until we got to a version that we were satisfied with.
Good stuff, Jiggy. I'll throw to you if you've got another question, and we'll stick this one on, I think. You're still on
I was waiting for you to play the track.
Sorry.
He's built this up like a movie trailer, and I'm like, no need to hear from me. We need to go to the
let's
song.
do that then. We'll stick it on, shall we? This is Gallows High, Dead of Night.
All you know is ashes beneath
Holy smokes! I feel like I need to shower after that whole thing. My God, that gets things rolling. Holy smokes!
That was an absolute cracker. Gallows Hill there, Dead of Night.
Wow. It gets
Sure, anybody got
every
that one in
dang
the States.
emotion you can possibly think of. You know,
brilliant.
you want to bang your head with the metal part of it at the very beginning, and then halfway through the song, you're like, "Man, I'm tired. I need to go take a nap." And then and then it picks you up there at the end. That's great, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Now, have you got any plans to do any different or more collaborations with people outside these two bands?
Yeah, so I'm a songwriter in my own right. So I've over the lockdown period, I've had a number of tunes that I've been writing, and unfortunately, I'm not the greatest singer. So what I'm planning to do going forward is I'm planning to complete these songs in full, and I'm looking to collaborate with different artists. So I'm looking to sort of post these out on my social media, and I'm looking for different vocalists to come and sing on it. So I'm going to be releasing a metal track, a reggae track, an indie track. So it's going to be different genres that I've written, and I'm going to look for vocalists to come and sing on them, essentially, or scream on them. It depends on if it's metal or not. But yeah, I'm not sure whether that would be it would be like a competition, or whether I'd release a EP with the same song but different versions with different vocalists on. I'm not quite sure what I want to do yet.
Everyone loves a competition. Everyone loves a competition.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm not sure as of yet, but you know, I can't just let these songs sit there on the computer anymore. They've got to come out.
But before we let you go, I want to ask you a bit about live shows, because obviously all around the world, everyone has been suffering through lack of no live shows. You know, music sort of live, any live entertainment's pretty much ground to a halt. You know, how have you found it? And have you got anything? Can you look forward to anything in 2021? Have you got anything maybe that might be happening?
Well, I was very fortunate before the second lockdown to actually have the chance to do one gig, a seated gig, but a gig nonetheless. So performed with Gallows High at the Soundhouse on the 31st, which is like our annual Halloween gig, it was amazing just to be back on stage, even though that the people were seated, you know, and there was only 30 people in there due to regulations. It was just such a good feeling to get back on stage. So, you know, I feel very fortunate, because other people who had gigs lined up after hours weren't able to do it, and I'm not sure when they're going to be able to do it. So I was very blessed to do that. But I guess it would just, until the regulations are, you know, I think it's just going to have to be live streams, really, which is fun in their own right. I mean, it's not the same feeling as a real gig, but you know, it's something that keeps that sort of adrenaline buzz floating until we get to the real thing. But I'm hoping summer we'll be able to start doing gigs again. I'm hoping that we can get on some festivals. Hopefully Gallows can get on some metal festivals, and Harry can get on some reggae festivals, maybe Boomtown, something like that. But
hey, that'd be cool.
You can only keep your fingers crossed at this point and just hope for the best. But I mean, if we're not doing gigs, then we're creating music, so we're still keeping busy regardless of what.
Well, listen, we'll be keeping our eye on you, and please, you know, do keep in touch. Of course. Definitely come back on when you get some time. And if you could just remind everybody where they can find your music and find you at one more time before we go.
Of course, not a problem. So it's on all my social media, which would be Facebook and Instagram, only, is at Matt Burry Guitar. And you can find Harry Giorgio on Spotify, as well as finding Gallows High on Spotify. as well. So Harry Giorgio is Harry with an I, and Giorgio as in I-O at the end of George. So yeah, that's where you can find my music.
Well, you are a tremendous, tremendous artist, I'll have to say. You have,
thank you very much.
You have put together a lot of cool stuff today, and we really appreciate you having the time and chatting with us today, my friend, letting us play some of your music.
Well, it's been a pleasure being on your show. So thank you very much for having me. It's been awesome chatting to you guys, and really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much, Matt. What we're going to do now is we will remove you from the room, but I'll be in touch with you again in the next couple of days just to catch